Hey all, it is Thursday, February the 20th, 2025, and welcome to my very first YouTube edition of Talk About Books Thursday. I do this over on TikTok. Sometimes I'm talking about specific books, sometimes I'm talking about reading habits, but I wanted to expand a little bit and maybe spend a little bit more time talking about some of the books that I read. And so here we are on YouTube. So this week we are going to talk about two of the books that I have just read within the past week that I absolutely loved and I think a lot of people should check out. So up first, we have Kirsten Miller's Lula Dean's Library of Banned Books. This book is both hilarious and powerful in its message on censorship and the power of reading. We are set in Troy, Georgia, and you have a woman who is in her 40s who is the epitome of a Karen named Lula Dean. She is extremely self-righteous, and what's really scary about Lula is the fact that she doesn't realize how mean she is. She genuinely believes that she's a good person and has no idea that she is spiteful and mean, even though everybody else in the town knows exactly what Lula is like. She decides to go on a crusade to ban books that she deems inappropriate and dangerous to children from the public library and the school, and succeeds in getting people to rally to her cause, getting some books pulled out. But she wants everybody to know that she herself is an avid reader and a supporter of books. So she builds a little free library and sticks it out in front of her house with books that she deems appropriate that everyone should read and enjoy. It's important to note that not only did Lula not read the books that she wanted to ban, she also doesn't read the books that she put in her little free library. She went to Goodwill, grabbed a bunch of books for cheap, and stuck them out there and wanted everybody to read them. But someone comes along, pulls all the books out of Lula's library, pulls the covers off, takes some of those banned books, puts Lula's covers on them, and sticks them back in the library. At first, nobody pays attention because nobody's interested in the books that Lula's got out there, but somebody grabs one out of curiosity one day and very quickly realizes that what's on the inside is not matching the outside, and for that person, it is the perfect book that they needed at the time. And that's one of the things that I love about this. Each chapter focuses on a different character, but they are all connected, and you see each person get their hands on the book that they needed. For some people, it changes their way of thinking. For some of them, it completely changes their lives. And it is such a testament to the positive power that books have. Sometimes when people are focusing on banning books, they want to talk about the negative impacts, but there are so many positive things that come out of reading books, and each character experiences that, with the exception of a few, because you do get the perspective of Lula at one point as well as a couple of her supporters, so you do see, kind of the negative side of things as well, and you hear what those people have to say, so that is there also. But I loved the characters as well. I thought each one was very vibrant, very well written. Even though the book is short, the chapters were pretty short, nobody felt flat to me. All these characters felt very real. And maybe it's because I grew up in a small town and a lot of these characters felt kind of relatable to me. They just felt like people that I know. And that also, I think, made me enjoy the book even more. So I encourage you guys, especially if you love reading and you are concerned about book banning, check out Lula Dean's Little Library of Banned Books. All right, now to the next book. I finished this one 2 days ago, and this book is still on my mind and is probably going to be on my mind for a long time. I read James, Perceval Everett, and everyone needs to read this book, especially if you are American. You should read it. This is a retelling of Huck Finn from the perspective of Jim, and it is absolutely fantastic. I cannot say enough good things about this book. His voice through this story is absolutely incredible. And while this book talks about the power of reading, this one talks about the power of being able to write and how much impact a simple pencil can have on someone. And I absolutely loved it. James's intelligence is very clear throughout the story. His resilience, what he goes through, how he tries to take care of Huck throughout the whole thing, how he is struggling to survive, his concern for his family, for everything that he's going through. It was so beautifully done. I could not put it down. I think it took me 3 days to read because I just wanted to do nothing but sit here and read this book. It was that fantastic. One of my favorite aspects of this book is the fact that he dreams sometimes, and he argues with some very famous philosophers. He sees them in his dreams because he has taught himself how to read. Nobody knows that except for a few other people that he's shared it with. And he's been sneaking books out of Judge Thatcher's office and reading them. And he's been reading some of these philosophers. And then along the way, he stumbles across some books and keeps those as well. And he dreams sometimes, and these philosophers that people have looked up to, like John Locke and Voltaire. I think Voltaire's in there as well. And he argues with them and calls them out on their hypocrisy. And I absolutely loved that part. So it was absolutely wonderful. I think this is such an important book for Americans to read. I will tell you guys that there is the use of the N-word in this book. If you know the time period that this is set, that word was heavily used. If you read the original Huck Finn, that word was also used in that book, so it was there the whole time. So it makes sense that it's present in this book, but I did want to let you guys know that in case anybody gets caught off guard when they read it. But you guys absolutely need to check out James. And when you're done with that one, check out Lula as well. So there you go. That is our first YouTube edition of Talk About Books Thursday. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like if you would like to. Subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be posting this. I've also been posting some shorts, reading some poetry. I'm reading Emily Dickinson and Robert Frost and posting those hopefully at least 2 poems every day. Fingers crossed that will happen. And if you have read either of these books, please leave me a comment below and let me know how you guys liked it. All right, happy Thursday.